Good evening. The time is 9 p.m. U.S. Central Time. This program is coming to you live from Chicago. And in the news at this hour, Minnesota officials have agreed to ban the use of chokeholds and other neck restraints by the police. City officials in Minneapolis also announced that all officers will be required to file a report, as well as intervene and attempt to put a stop to fellow officers exerting unauthorized force. President Donald Trump, meanwhile, was pilloried by Democrats for declaring during a speech regarding the economy that it was a great day for George Floyd, a black man who died after his neck was pinned under the knee of a white police officer. Hopefully, George is looking down right now and saying this is a great thing happening for our country, Trump said. A great day for him, a great day for everybody. This is a great day for everybody. This is a great day in terms of equality. End quote. Mr. Trump's comments drew immediate condemnation from former Vice President Joseph Biden, the president's Democratic challenger. George Floyd's last words, "I can't breathe," have echoed all across this nation and around the world, Mr. Biden said in a speech this afternoon. And for the president to try to put any other words in the mouth of George Floyd, I frankly think is despicable. The Twitter wars continue between the social media platform and Donald Trump. Twitter on Thursday removed a video tribute, that is, to George Floyd, which had been reposted by Trump's re-election campaign. Previous infractions were for glorifying violence. This time, Trump was sanctioned for violating the company's policy on copyrighted material. To help you sort out the conflicting data you may have been hearing about the job situation in the United States, here are some raw figures. 1.88 million Americans applied for unemployment benefits in the final week of May, according to the Labor Department. The previous week's total was 2.13 million. The number of Americans who are now unemployed stands at an estimated 41 million persons. The rate of increase in number of people losing jobs did slow during the fourth week of May when compared to the third week of May. Some workers in certain industries are starting to return to their jobs. But the number of job hires and rehires is not yet running ahead of job dismissals. Thus, despite the narrative that some government agencies seem to have attempted today, the downhill movement has slowed, but we are not yet moving uphill. We still have an historically alarmingly high jobless rate. Here are the latest coronavirus statistics from the U.S. Center for Disease Control. Estimated total cases now in the United States, 1,862,600, and that is up from yesterday's number by 20,555. The death toll now stands at 108,064, and that is up from yesterday's estimate by just over 1,000. More news in just a moment. Now this.
In times of fear, World Vision is there for the most vulnerable. For the last 70 years, we've been standing with kids and families through natural disasters, war, and disease, delivering life-saving aid and helping rebuild lives. And with every act of courage, faith, and love, we do more than just stop the spread of fear. We replace it with hope. Learn more at worldvision.org.
4 minutes past 9 p.m. U.S. Central Time. Continuing with our news report, local government officials in Washington, D.C. are painting a message in giant yellow lettering down the middle of a busy D.C. street ahead of a planned protest this weekend. The three words, "Black Lives Matter," stretch for several hundred yards. The paint job may in fact be completed by this hour. The massive banner-like project spans 2 full blocks of 16th Street, a major thoroughfare that leads southward straight to the White House. Each of the 16 bold yellow letters fills the entire width of the 2-lane street, creating a remarkable visual easily spotted by aerial cameras and virtually anyone within a few blocks. The painters were contracted by D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser, and work began early this morning, the mayor's office told CNN. Bowser has also officially bestowed the honorary designation Black Lives Matter Plaza on that portion of the street, complete with a secondary street sign. The mayor said she and the district council members all want to come together in peace to demonstrate that in America you can peacefully assemble, bring grievances to your government, and demand change. On Wall Street, all three major indexes closed in positive territory today. Strong finish for the Dow Jones Industrial Average. 27,111 was the closing number. That's up 829. NASDAQ up 198 points. And the S&P 500 up by 82. The nation's weather report. For tomorrow, the Southwest will continue to bake with the usual fire alerts. Elsewhere, tropical downpours are expected from Louisiana eastward to the edge of the Florida Panhandle as early as tomorrow, while Tropical Storm Cristobal approaches. Storm warnings and tide surges are in effect for those sections of the Gulf Coast. For Chicagoland, tonight, some showers and thunderstorms remain a possibility through the late hours, 30% chance. Otherwise, partly cloudy with a low around 62. Saturday, tomorrow, sunny in the daytime with a high about 70, and continued clear tomorrow night with a low around 55. Beautiful on Sunday, clear skies, high in the mid-70s. Current conditions, mostly cloudy, a bit humid, 84 degrees, 65% humidity, winds out of the northwest at 6 miles an hour. Currently on the AccuWeather radar screen, you have to go all the way to central Alabama and Mississippi to find any precipitation. All clear on the home front for a several hundred-mile radius. 6 minutes after 9 o'clock, and again here at Radio City, we have 84 degrees.
Live from Chicago, Variety Broadcast presents Radio Classics. Now, here's your host, Tom Edwards.
As I feel the embers die, no longer can I walk these paths, for they have changed. I must be on, the sun is gone, and I think it's gonna rain. Sunday will never be the same. Flocks of pigeons. I remember sunshine and you were mine. Sunday will never be the same. Sunday song will not be back again.
Well, we're getting just a little bit of a jump on the weekend. Spanky and our gang. Remember that one? Cute one. Sunday morning will never be the same. 10 minutes after 9 p.m. U.S. Central Time. Welcome to Radio Classics. Tom Edwards, your host. Nice to have you aboard. If you're new to the broadcast or new to our game, let me tell you about one of the main features of our program. We play trivia, and we have a stable of wonderful trivia panelists, let me tell you. Now, before I get into that, let me just alert you to the fact that if you wish to play the game, play along with our trivia game, or just chit-chat with the other folks in the chat room, you'll need to sign in with your Google account so that you can access the chat board here on YouTube. But that's strictly optional. Now, that it's entirely up to you, whatever you're comfortable with. If you just want to hang in the background and listen, that's fine. I'm just glad you're here. But just so you know what your options are, if you have a Google account like Gmail or Google Voice or any of those, any Google account, just sign in with your normal username and password, and that will connect you right away to the YouTube features, including our chat board, and then you can listen and play the games and talk to the other players, the other audience members. So that's strictly optional, like I say. We'll start the trivia game in just a moment, so don't go away.
The best candy on earth comes from Mars, Milky Way.
Hey, diddle, diddle, there's milk in its middle, milk in its chocolate too. There's so much milk in the Milky Way, you can almost hear it.
Wholesome and good, that's Milky Way. And the reason is right in the name, milk. Each year, millions of gallons of fresh milk, the kind you drink, go into Milky Way candy bars. There's milk in the creamy nougat and in the pure milk chocolate. Mighty milky, mighty good, Milky Way.
There's so much milk in the Milky Way, you can almost hear it.
The best candy on earth comes from Mars.
Moo. All right, 12 minutes after 9 o'clock. Now, a quick reminder about our rules. No search engines, no doing the naughty and cheating to look up questions on Google or Bing or Alexa or any of that. You're on the honor system, and I know you won't, but I just have to read the official rules. All right, now, spelling is not generally an issue if it's just a common word, but if it's a proper noun like a person's name, product name, company name, that sort of thing, then it needs to be spelled correctly, and we will use that, though, only as a tiebreaker. In other words, normally the first answer to hit the screen is the winner, but if there's a misspelling, then we have to take the next correct answer, which is spelled correctly. All right, we play for Monopoly money. Whoever has the most Monopoly dollars saved by the end of the program wins a fabulous grand prize. And tonight, what are we giving away? Well, the second of the prime prestigious purple properties, and that would be States Avenue. And if you remember the Monopoly board, that one is located right next to the electric company, which I realize may come as quite a shock. Just be sure not to touch the back fence. Okay, get ready. Now put your thinking cap on. Get your typing fingers ready. Here comes our first question of the evening. The old machine is spinning and spinning. Round she goes. And here's the question in my hot little hands. Under the category of general knowledge, $15 on the line. If I'm in Las Vegas and I put a chip down on a dozen bet, or maybe place an inside bet on a street, that's like a street or a road that you walk on, an inside bet on a street, what game am I playing? All right, I'm in a Vegas casino and I put a chip down on a dozen bet, or maybe I place an inside bet on a street. What game am I playing?
I used to walk with you along the avenue. Our hearts were carefree and gay. How could I know I'd lose you somewhere along the way? The those we used to know would always smile hello. No love like our love, they'd say. Then love slipped through our fingers somewhere along the way. I should forget, but with the loneliness of night, I start remembering everything. You're gone, and yet there's still a feeling deep inside that you will always be part of me. So now I look for you along the avenue, and as I wander I pray that someday soon I'll find you somewhere along the way. I should forget, but with the loneliness of night, I start remembering everything. You're gone, and yet there's still a feeling deep inside that you will always be part of me. So now I look for you along the avenue, and as I wander I pray that someday soon I'll find you somewhere along the way, somewhere along the way.
Ah, that beautiful, rich voice of Nat King Cole, Somewhere Along the Way. 9:17 p.m., and it's another warm and humid night in the Windy City. 84 degrees here at Radio City, and the humidity is not monstrous, but it's still pretty well up there, about 60%, something in that range. So it's kind of damp and warm in here tonight. All right, let's open the dictionary, shall we? And we'll look up our word of the day for our crossword puzzle enthusiasts. Rendition is the word. Oh, I forgot to ask the robot to say it. I didn't mean to cheat. Wait a minute.
Rendition.
Okay, see, we've got those robots on a union contract, and boy, if they go on strike, oh, I'm so sorry about that.
Rendition.
Okay, rendition is the word, and that is a noun, and if you hear render as the underpinning of that word, you are absolutely right. It means the act or result of rendering something, such as a performance or interpretation of something, like a piece of music, for example, a depiction or a translation, and it can also mean surrender, as in a legal sense, the surrender by a state of a fugitive to another state, charging the fugitive with a crime. So basically, it means the same thing as extradition, the rendition of a prisoner, extradition of a prisoner. Derivation of the word is from the Latin verb redere, meaning to return. And there you have it, rendition, the word of the day, from Merriam-Webster, the dictionary, folks, at m-w.com. Back to our trivia game to give you an update right after this.
Come up to the cool taste, come up to cool. Come up to the cool taste, you never had it so cool.
Come all the way up to Cool, king size or extra long, the only cigarette with the taste of extra coolness.
I am so glad I gave those things up. And my pocketbook is glad too. But it's just a fun swing down memory lane to play those commercials. And this is, after all, not regular over-the-air broadcasting, so we can get away with doing that. All right, studio audience, how about a nice round of applause for our winner? And that would be Nicole for this round. All right, Nicole answered our question correctly. The question was, what game are we playing if you make a bet on a dozen or a street? And that, of course, is roulette. All right, and that was a $15 question. So Nicole is on the board with $15. Congratulations. Your chance to win coming up next, so don't go away. 20 past 9 o'clock. Music here by the Tremolos. Silence is golden.
Oh, don't it hurt deep inside to see someone, something to hurt. Oh, don't it pain to see someone cry, oh, especially when someone is hurt. Silence is golden, but my eyes still see. Silence is golden, golden, but my eyes still see. Talking is cheap, people follow like sheep, even though there is nowhere to go. How could she tell he deceived her so well? Maybe she'll be the last one to know. Silence is golden, but my eyes still see. Silence is golden, golden, but my eyes still see. How many times did she fall for his lies? Should I tell her, or should I be cool? And if I tried, I know she'll say I lied. Mind your business, don't hurt her, you fool. Silence is golden, but my eyes still see. Silence is golden, golden, but my eyes still see. But my eyes still see. But my eyes still see.
There we have music by the Tremolos, a pretty one called Silence is Golden. 9:23 p.m., 23 past 9 o'clock, U.S. Central Time. I was browsing around on eBay this afternoon, just shopping, just window shopping. And do you remember the Mousetrap game? Did you ever play that when you were a kid? It was a series of plastic pieces, and you would assemble them. You would build a contraption on the board. That was the idea. And once you got it all built, it was machinery. And you would start it by turning a crank, and then the crank would like pull back a lever, and then it was attached to a rubber band so it would snap back. And once this lever snapped back, it would hit a toy shoe, which would then swoop up and kick a bucket, and the bucket would dump out a little silver ball bearing, which would roll down a flight of stairs and then down a red curvy thing that was sort of like a bowling ball gutter, and that would bump into a big tall stick that would make a little man jump off of a diving board and into sort of a tank. And then the mousetrap, the cage, would fall down over the mouse. It took, I don't remember how long it took to build, but you moved around the board. It was a kid's game, you know, so when you're little, you're just fascinated by this. You move around the board, and what you wind up with is this Rube Goldberg contraption. Do you know what a Rube Goldberg contraption is? He was a cartoonist, and he was before my time, but I remember my great-grandmother talking about him, and I've read up on him, about him a little bit. He used to make cartoons, and they were featured in some magazines and newspapers. He would design very comedic-looking machines designed to perform a very simple task, but there was all kinds of stuff interwoven that would take all day to do it. Like he would have an automatic napkin mouth wiper, okay? When he would scoop up a bowl of soup, take a spoonful from a bowl of soup, he would have his arm attached to like a string, and the string would pull the pendulum on a clock, and the clock would swing back and forth with a napkin, and it would automatically wipe his mouth. Just crazy stuff. In early 1987, they started a tradition at Purdue University in Indiana, the annual National Rube Goldberg Machine Contest, organized by their local chapter of Theta Tau, which is a national engineering fraternity. It's a good idea. I mean, it's silly stuff, but I guess there's some engineering principles in all of that you could learn. So from the mousetrap game, we went to Rube Goldberg to an engineering society. And closely related to mousetrap was kind of its fraternal twin brother, the crazy clock game. Remember, that was another one. Well, speaking of games, we've got a good one going. Nicole is on the board, first question of the night with $15. So we'll do another question right after this important message from our sponsor.
It's raisins that make Post-Raisin Bran so wonderful. It's raisins that make Post-Raisin Bran so different. It's raisins that make Post-Raisin Bran so raisiny. More raisins, lots more raisins, more raisins than you have ever seen before. If you like raisins, have juicy raisins, you like Post-Raisin Bran more.
Post, the more Raisin Bran.
Sherry was wondering if I still play the mousetrap game. Yes, I was talking about it with such great enthusiasm. I play it with Mr. J. Cat Rockefeller. Racky, my kitty cat, he loves to play anything to do with mouses, so, mousetrap is right up his alley. There goes our trivia machine. Get ready. Here comes the next question. And this one, oh boy, it's time for Name That Tune. Okay, this is a $25 question, and I can give you a little bit of a hint. This is a male vocalist, and this particular tune he issued in 1957, and now here comes your audio. So turn up your sound just a little bit, listen carefully, and get ready to type your answer. And of course, as always, it's a two-part question, singer and song. We need both in order to count your winnings. Okay, singer and song, please. Here comes your clue.
Oh, but here for the moment I can hold you fast.
Okay, you got that? I'll give you just a moment's pause so you can settle that in before I start another piece of music, because I know it's kind of difficult to concentrate on one song while you're hearing another. All right, that ought to give you enough time to think of it. Up next, Bonnie Tyler, Little Heart Trouble here.
It's a heartache, nothing but a heartache. Hits you when it's too late, hits you when you're down. It's a fool's game, nothing but a fool's game. Standing in the cold rain, feeling like a clown. It's a heartache, nothing but a heartache. Love until your arms break, is I depending on you? Oh, it's a heartache, nothing but a heartache. You love until your arms break, then he lets you down. It's a fool's game, standing in the cold rain, feeling like a clown. It's a heartache.
When I was in college, there was a pizza joint right down the block from our dormitory, and the name of the joint was called Vince's Pizza. Vince Tobin was the guy's name, and I looked it up. His obituary was published, oh gosh, at least 20 years ago, because this goes way, way back. But the reason that came to mind is there were a couple of songs on Vince's jukebox. By the way, he had the darkest place. The lights were almost always out, and the air conditioning was blasting. I guess what he turned off all the lights to save on the electric bill from running so much air conditioning. It was like you were going into Dracula's cave. The place was so cold. But he had the best pizza that I think I have ever eaten before, during, or since. Vince's Pizza. And what was the reason I brought that up? Oh, yeah. On the jukebox, he had that one that we just heard, It's a Heartache. And the other one that I would always play was Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet Band, Still the Same. Well, since we're talking about music and coming up with the names of all the various tunes, I guess you want to know who won the latest trivia round, don't you? All right, we'll do that in just a second.
I am stuck on Band-Aid rag 'cause Band-Aid's stuck on me.
I am stuck on Band-Aid 'cause Band-Aid's stuck on me.
'Cause they hold on tight in the back of Band-Aid cling itself, he said.
Announcing an improved stay-on adhesive on Band-Aid brand adhesive bandages from Johnson & Johnson. You'll notice the difference because it stays on you better than anything else you can buy.
I am stuck on Band-Aid 'cause Band-Aid's stuck on me.
All right, audience, how about a nice round of applause for this round's winner? And that would be Nicole. She got it right. Johnny Mathis. Most everybody had Johnny Mathis correct, but chances are is what most were guessing. That's not correct. Nicole got it right. It is Johnny Mathis, and the tune is It's Not For Me To Say, It's For Me To Play. So here we go.
It's not for me to say you love me. It's not for me to say you'll always care. Oh, but here for the moment I can hold you fast and press your lips to mine and dream that love will last. As far as I can see, this is heaven, and speaking just for me, it's ours to share. Perhaps the glow of love will grow with every passing day, or we may never meet again, but then it's not for me to say.
just for me. It's ours to share. Perhaps the glow of love will grow with every passing day, or we may never meet again. But then it's not for me to say.
The smooth sounds of Johnny Mathis just for you on Radio Classics, 9:37 p.m., 23 before 10 o'clock U.S. Central Time. And our friend Pat on the chat board, Pat on the chat, that's a nice little lyrical bit, isn't it? Our friend Pat on the chat board mentions that Johnny Mathis is 84 years old, still performing too. More power to him, good for him. All right, shall we take a look back? Welcome to This Date in History. And as we look back, on the 5th of June, 1933, President Franklin Roosevelt issued a series of orders which effectively took the United States off the gold standard. 1967, in the Mideast, the Six-Day War began. Israel versus Egypt, Syria, and eventually Jordan jumped in on it too. 6 days of fighting. Israel captured the Gaza Strip, Sinai Peninsula, the Golan Heights, and the West Bank. 2004, on this date, former U.S. President Ronald Reagan died after a long struggle with Alzheimer's disease. 1968, another sad note, Senator Robert F. Kennedy was shot at the Ambassador Hotel in Los Angeles as he was making his victory speech after winning the California presidential primary. 1956, you've heard, of course, about Elvis's big appearance many times on the Ed Sullivan Show, and Sullivan had the cameras aim like from the chest upward to keep it clean. They didn't do that earlier, which was on the Milton Berle Show, several years earlier, in fact. Elvis brought the house down and brought in a lot of criticism. 1956, from the Milton Berle Show. They said he was borderline obscenity. The critics talking anyway, the music critics writing their columns in the newspapers around the country. Famous birthdays today. Actor Mark Wahlberg is 49. Mexican Revolutionary General Pancho Villa, born on this date, 1878. American jazz saxophonist Kenneth Gorlick, better known by his stage name Kenny G, is 64 today. Economic theorist John Maynard Keynes, born 1883. Novelist Ken Follett is 71. Movie producer Kathleen Kennedy, famous for E.T., the Extraterrestrial, and Jurassic Park, is 67. That'll be just my luck. On my next birthday, people will be talking about Jurassic Park. Dinosaurs. All right, another trivia question in just a minute. Don't go away.
Hey, Susie Q, what's cooking with you?
Your teeth look whiter than new.
My teeth aren't new, but my toothpaste is new Pepsodent. Get with it, kids. New package, new flavor, new formula, too. Means brighter smiles for me and you.
You'll wonder where the yellow went when you brush your teeth with Pepsodent. The new formula with IMP gets teeth much whiter. You can see it cleans the stains and film away, while Irium fights tooth decay. You'll wonder where the yellow went when you brush your teeth with Pepsodent. The taste is new, so fresh and clean. That new taste really lasts, it's keen. And while it makes your smile a rave, it also makes your breath behave. So start going steady right away with Pepsodent. Get some today. You'll wonder where the yellow went when you brush your teeth with Pepsodent. Pepsodent, Pepsodent.
Well, my little pal, Mr. J. Cat Rockefeller, better known as Rocky to his friends, jumped up on his usual place of honor here on the desk, right next to my broadcasting contraptions, here on the desk in my little home office, and he went immediately to sleep. I guess that's an editorial comment. Huh? 9:41 p.m., 19 minutes before 10 o'clock. And get your thinking cap on, your typing fingers ready. Here we go. Next trivia question. And this one is also an audio, but it's not a Name That Tune. This time it's a Name That TV show. All right, now, in order to not give it away, we beeped out the name of the show, which makes an appearance in the lyrics. Obviously, that would give it away. So you're going to hear a beep come through, but listen to the rest of it. That'll be your clue. The opening of this TV series, it ran from 1955 to 1960, and it starred Peter Graves and Bobby Diamond. Okay, here comes your clue.
The story of a horse and the boy who loves him. Brought to you by Post Cereals.
All Post cereals happen to be just a little bit better than any other cereal happens to be.
All right, there's your clue. We are looking for The Story of a Horse and the Boy Who Loves Him. Brought to you by Post Cereals.
I look at you and suddenly something in your eyes I see soon begins bewitching me. It's that old devil moon that you stole from the sky. It's that old devil moon in your eye. You and your glance make this romance too hot to handle. Stars in the night, blazing their light, can't hold a candle to your razzle-dazzle. You've got me flying high and wide on a magic carpet ride, full of butterflies inside. Wanna cry, wanna croon, wanna laugh like a loon. It's that old devil moon in your eyes. Just when I think I'm free as a dove, oh, devil moon. It is that old devil moon that you stole from the skies. It's that old devil moon in your eyes. You and your glance make this romance too hot to handle. Stars in the night, blazing their light, can't hold a candle to your razzle-dazzle. You've got me flying high and wide on a magic carpet ride, full of butterflies inside. I wanna cry, wanna croon, wanna laugh like a loon. It's that old devil moon in your eyes. Just when I think I'm free as a dove, oh, devil moon, deep in your eyes, blinds me with love. Oh, devil moon, oh.
That's the voice that they called the Velvet Fog, Mel Torme, on Radio Classics. Well, guess what? Nicole is just running away with it tonight. Another round of applause for another win. Yeah, Nicole is on the board now with 2550, 65 smackolas. My Friend Flicka was another horse story, but Nicole got the correct one. Fury was the one we were looking for. Fury was the story of a horse and the boy who loved him. All right. Well, but since we got such a nice, exciting game going, let's jump right into the next question, shall we? Here we go. All right. This one is a $30 question, so this may give a chance to make it a little more competitive. Maybe some people catch up. All right. It's under the category movies, and I'm in the theater, and I just sat down 6 or 8 aisles back, center row, and I'm ready to pig out on my large butter popcorn, bag of gummy bears, and a large pink lemonade. Okay, the credits start rolling, and here's what they say. Danny DeVito, Judge Reinhold, Helen Slater, Anita Morris, and Bette Midler as Barbara Stone, starring in... You fill in the blank. Okay, the credits are rolling, and they say Danny DeVito, Judge Reinhold, Helen Slater, Anita Morris, and Bette Midler as Barbara Stone. Tell me, what movie am I watching?
Grab a bucket and mop. Scrub the bottom and top. There is nothing so clean. That's my burger machine. With a broom and a brush. Clean it up for the rush. Before you open the door. Or to shine on the floor. When we finish one then. Start all over again. Tell me, what does it mean? At McDonald's it's clean. You deserve a break today. So get up and get away to McDonald's, McDonald's, McDonald's.
All right, 9:48 p.m., and we've got a nice, exciting trivia game going, and we'll tell you who won the latest round right after we hear a musical piece from the Young Rascals.
All the world over so easy to see. People everywhere just wanna be free. Listen, please, listen, that's the way it should be. Peace in the valley, people got to be free. You should see what a lovely, lovely world is to be. Everyone learn to live together. Seems to me such an easy, easy thing should be. Why can't you and me learn to love one another? Now all the world over so easy to see. People everywhere just wanna be free. I can't understand, it's so simple to me. It is. People everywhere just got to be free. If there's a man who is down and needs a helping hand, all it takes is you to understand and to pull him through. It seems to me we got to solve it individually. And I'll do unto you what you do to me. Said no. Yeah, they're shouting from the mountains all out to the sea. No two ways about it, people have to be. They got to be. Ask me my opinion will be. That's a situation for a man to be free. Get right on board now. Yeah, all the feelings just come over me. Enough to move a mountain, make a blind man. Leave out everybody dancing, come on, let's go see. Peace in the valley, now we all can be free. Look, see that train over there? That's the train of freedom. It's about to arrive any minute now. You know it's been a long, long overdue. Look out,
because it's coming right on.
There we have the musical talents of the Rascals. People got to be free. Boy, Nicole is just hammering us tonight. She's unstoppable at this point, I think. Audience, what do you think? All right. The category was movies, and we rattled off the list of credits. Danny DeVito, Judge Reinhold, Helen Slater, Anita Morris, and Bette Midler, starring as Barbara Stone. The movie we were watching was Ruthless People, and for that, another $30 on Nicole's scoreboard, and she's way out front now with $25, $50, $65, $95. I think that's an all-time world record. Okay, don't go away. We'll be right back.
When you say but, you've said a lot of things nobody else can say. When you say but, you've gone as far as you can go to get the very best. When you say but, you've said the word that means you like to do it all. When you say but, it means you want the beer that's got a taste that's number one. When you say but, you tell the world you know what makes it all the way. When you say but, you say you care enough to only want the king of beers. There is no other one, there's only something less, because the king of beers is leading all the rest. When you say Budweiser, you've said it all. There is no other one, there's only something less, because the king of beers is leading all the rest. When you say Budweiser, you've said it all. When you say Budweiser, you've said it all.
I'll drink to that. 9:53 p.m. We looked backward in history a little while ago, looking at today, Friday, June the 5th. It has been declared World Environment Day and also National Donut Day. Oh, get me a dozen coconut, would you? Those are my favorite. If you want to get a jump on things and mark your calendar, tomorrow, Saturday, June the 6th, is National Eyewear Day. Somebody who declared that was quite a visionary, I guess. It's also National Yo-Yo Day. Who thinks of these things? And finally, it is also National Queensland Day for our friends in Australia. All right, our trivia game is a rout, as they say in the sports world. Nicole is just pulled way out in front, 10 laps ahead with $95. So let's do another question. This one is for $2,000. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. This question is for $30, and it's under the category of geography. All right, here we go. You are standing at the water's edge in the Saudi Arabian coastal city of Jeddah. If you had a pair of very strong binoculars or a telescope or maybe superhuman eyesight, you could look across the water and see the Sudan, or if you turn just a little bit to the north, you could also see Egypt. What is the name of this body of water? Okay, the body of water with Saudi Arabia on one side and on the opposite side, Egypt and Sudan in Africa on the other side. What is the name of that body of water that separates those countries? Take a guess if you don't know. No penalties for wrong answers.
Seas had rise when I gave the word. Now in the morning I sleep alone. Sweep the streets I used to own. I used to roll the dice, feel the fear in my enemy's eyes. Listen as the crowd would sing. Now the old king is dead, long live the king. 1 minute I held the key. Next the walls were closed on me, and I discovered that my castle stand upon pillars of salt and pillars of sand. I hear Jerusalem bells sound of drums. People couldn't believe what I'd become. Revolutionaries wait for my head on a silver plate, just a puppet on a lonely string. Oh, who would ever wanna be king? I hear Jerusalem bells are ringing, Roman cavalry choirs are singing. Be my mirror, my sword and shield, my missionaries in a foreign field. For some reason I can't explain, I know St. Peter won't call my name ever an honest word, but that was when I ruled the world. When I ruled the world.
The group is called Coldplay, and the song is called When I Ruled the World, or Viva la Vida. And that got some good reactions from our friends on the chat board. I love that one too. All right, well, nobody got the last question on the trivia game. The body of water that we were looking for, which divides Saudi Arabia from the continent of Africa, and on the immediate opposite side, you'll see Sudan and Egypt. That is the Red Sea. All right, but even so, Nicole is way out in front, so she is our grand prize winner tonight. Audience, how about a nice round of applause? And Nicole also wins the grand prize tonight, States Avenue, the prime prestigious purple property. Okay, congratulations, Nicole, and thanks everybody for playing. Well, that's going to do it for me. It's 10 o'clock, and have a wonderful and safe weekend. And as always, keep yourself safe. If you go out for any errands, put on a mask. And be especially wary of people not wearing masks. That's when you have to be extra cautious and put the social distancing in between everybody. 6 feet at least. Okay, listen to the health experts, the medical experts. Don't pay any attention to the crazy man in the Oval Office. And if you would tell your friends about the broadcast, I would appreciate that. We're here Monday through Friday, 10 o'clock Eastern Time, 9 Central, 8 Mountain, and 7 Pacific. Here's my theme song to take us out, the Bonneville Radio Orchestra with Soul Coaxing. Good night.